We are excited that construction is underway for our newest affordable housing development in the Hilltop neighborhood of Tacoma, which will offer 61 bedroom homes for seniors. We were honored when the city of Tacoma selected us to develop this site. The city recognized that as the community grows, there is a need for quality, affordable housing developed in order to prevent long-standing residents from being priced out of their neighborhood. This work cannot be done alone, and we are so glad to be collaborating with the city, Hilltop Action Coalition, and other community partners to bring it to fruition.
Community development work is so important to the Hilltop area in particular because so much has come to the community and saying it's for the community, but the community voice has not been at the table. And so these types of projects with Mercy Housing Northwest is so important because it has allowed the community, residents, neighbors, stakeholders to have a voice and to have something that reflects the history and culture of this vibrant neighborhood. I grew up here and I think about the things that happened to my parents, being told we will rent to a black family but we won't sell to a black family, and the impact that had on them. And so I want our residents, our neighbors to feel that they too can be here and not be displaced. And again, having partnerships is so important.
Mercy Housing Northwest has long-standing ties in Tacoma's Hilltop neighborhood. We have been developing housing here for over 15 years, with 4 currently operating and now a 5th underway. I'm on location here at New Tacoma Senior, one of our senior housing communities in the Hilltop. We are truly committed to the Hilltop and are glad to be part of the evolution of this neighborhood as it continues to grow in the years to come. On this week of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we remember the legacy that Dr. King set forth and want to renew our commitment to making housing more inclusionary and to ensure that everyone has access to the benefits of a safe, healthy, and affordable place to call home. It's not only about building a home, but also a thriving community. The Hilltop is one of the more diverse neighborhoods in the city of Tacoma, and it has seen so much growth and development over the years, with a number of new projects planned along MLK Way. As we build our newest senior housing development, we are committed to preserving the rich culture of this historic neighborhood. This development supports the Hilltop's need for affordable housing and will prevent displacement by offering very affordable rents for some of Tacoma's most vulnerable residents. Additionally, an ongoing subsidy commitment from HUD will ensure that residents of this development will pay no more than 30% of their annual income towards rent. At this new development, 20% of apartments are set aside for households with a disabled tenant, and 1/3 have a leasing preference for veterans. In Pierce County, 11% of residents are veterans, the highest density of veterans on the West Coast. This is one of the reasons why housing for veterans is so essential in this region. Now, you'll hear from Tony, a Mercy Housing Northwest resident who is a veteran.
My wife and I met when we were both in processing in Fort Lewis. And we've lived in and around Tacoma for going on 30 years. You know, the veterans they're the ones that risk their lives over in other countries, fighting to give us the freedom that we have right now. The pay for the veterans is not the best. They've got families and they've got kids. Affordable housing is probably the only way they can afford to live in the community without having to live on the streets. Used to live in a house in Lakewood and got to the point where we couldn't afford the rent, so we lived there as long as we could until we were forced out. My wife and I were living in a Motel 6, and we heard about Mercy Housing Northwest senior facility in the Hilltop area of Tacoma. So we came over here, filled out an application, and it only took about a month or so to get approved to move in. They have food banks that come in every so often. They also have volunteer work that we can do for resident services like Community Voice. We helped to plan the ramp out front for the wheelchair residents. It just took a load off of my wife and my mind that we're able to go into a facility and feel at home.
The new development incorporates universal design features that ensure accessibility for senior and disabled residents, and easy access to public transit, being located just a couple of blocks away from 2 Tacoma Link light rail stations, scheduled to begin service in early 2022. Our new development will have a spacious community room and beautiful outdoor plaza. This shared community space will provide a place for residents to gather on-site for program services that will be coordinated by a resident services staff member dedicated to the property. These on-site services will emphasize health and wellness, housing stability, financial stability, and community engagement. Our hope is that this shared space will foster a sense of community, belonging, and support for residents.
I wish we could be together in person to celebrate the groundbreaking of Mercy Housing Northwest's newest Tacoma development, because this groundbreaking isn't simply a celebration of critical housing units and services for people with a real need. No, this is a celebration of hope. I was proud to support the federal grant that helped fund this project, and I'll continue to work to ensure that Congress invests in the urgent housing needs of our region and brings hope to people in need. Thank you to the team at Mercy Housing Northwest for delivering on such an urgent community need. The work you are doing is providing critical support to seniors and is transforming the Hilltop.
We hope to continue partnering with the community on future affordable housing developments in the Tacoma Hilltop neighborhood. We'd like to thank all of our funding partners for making this project possible. This project includes funding from city, county, state, and federal sources. We especially want to thank our investor, the National Equity Fund, and our construction lender, Capital One, for their ongoing support of our community development work as we continue to build more affordable homes throughout the region.